Warren Buffett got rich, became one of the richest people on the planet, widely considered one of the best investors of all time, on what most investors would consider to be small accomplishments. So when a lot of us invest in stocks, and I know this from writing to investors and knowing what makes investors respond, we want those big triple digit or quadruple digit gains. We want 10 baggers. We want stocks that go up 10 times, make us 10 times our money. We want stocks that double our money. We want all of these stocks that make so much money on a single investment. And through time, through an extended period of time, that is actually what Warren Buffett got is his stocks now just make, all of his investments just continue to make more and more money. And yet, when you look at his average annual performance of his portfolio, he was incredibly successful by consistently making about 20% returns, which, for most of us, if we think in terms of investments, we would love much bigger than 20% returns on a regular basis. But Warren Buffett consistently made 20% returns, right? And today's lesson on how to get leads, how to get customers for your business is it's one of those types of lessons. Is how to get a flood of free leads and customers. It's going to look more like a Warren Buffett lesson. And in that regard, it's maybe not quite as exciting as something where I'm saying, oh, here's how to get 1 million customers overnight, whatever. But this is going to get you a flood of free leads and customers if you apply that same Warren Buffett attitude to it, if you apply that same Warren Buffett approach. So that's what we will cover in today's episode. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. Okay, so this is actually, I was reminded of this. I wrote about this a few years ago, and I was reminded of it today as I was looking at some of the different things that I'm doing to attract new customers into Breakthrough Marketing Secrets and BTMS Insiders. And for example, I recently did this Essential Copywriting Skills series where it's 13 videos that cover what I consider to be the essential copywriting skills for anybody, whether you're writing copy for yourself or for clients. And I'll include a link in the description to that. I have another one that is Launch Your Client Business. It's a few episodes on how to launch your client business on the the foundation that you want to lay. And I'll include a link in the description to sign up for that as well. You sign up for these things. It adds you to my email list as well as gives you this additional content dripped out over a couple days. And what it's doing is it's creating all of these different lead capture mechanisms. And every time that I put out a video like this and I talk about it, I mention it, I include a link in the description, what's happening is there is the potential for, some number of people to, number one, view the video, number two, be interested in signing up for one of those series, number three, go to the link in the description and enter their email address there, number four, after going through that content, decide that they want more and maybe follow one of my links with that content to sign up for BTMS Insiders and become a customer. And each one of these doesn't feel like that much, right? Each one of these doesn't feel like that much. But the power that comes from this, the way that this turns into a flood of free leads and customers, it's one of those Warren Buffett principles. So let me show you. And if you are if you're just listening to the audio version of this as a podcast, you're going to have to just listen carefully as I describe this. So what you see on the screen, if you're watching the video, is you see the Mississippi River Basin. And what this is, it's all the rivers that are flowing into the Mississippi River. And you can see, even in the zoomed out map that covers most of the United States and shows how water is coming from all over the United States to end up in the mighty Mississippi River. is that it's coming from dozens and dozens of fairly major rivers. And if you look at each of those dozens of major rivers, what you would see is each of those is fed by hundreds, maybe thousands of individual tributaries, individual springs and streams and runoffs and all of that, right? It's all of these places where all the water comes together. So by the time that the Mississippi River gets down to Louisiana, right before it enters the Gulf of Mexico, you just have this tremendous flood of water that's just like there's so much water coming from the Mississippi River. And in business, so many, like the natural inclination is to just want the flood, right? It's not to pay attention to all the tributaries, all the different streams of water that are flowing into that main river. We just look at that main river and we want that main river. But the reality is that yes, okay, sometimes a business can create like one really good offer, one really strong funnel, one really strong like core conversion sequence, and they just focus on driving traffic into that. But even when they do that, what ends up happening is they have to test a bunch of different ads. Okay, here's a bunch of different entry points for this. We test, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 different ads for this. And we're seeing how these different ads targeted to different audiences, maybe put out on different ad networks, are able to pull in the traffic that we want. And so essentially we're creating all of these tributaries through paid advertising. Likewise, if you're doing free content marketing, working on earned traffic, what's happening, or whether you're doing affiliate promotions or whatever, what you're doing is you are essentially creating all of these tributaries. You're creating all these different channels where leads and customers can flow in. And if you want to focus on how to create that river, how to create that flood, one really powerful thing that you can do is what I'm modeling for you here. So I create daily content for Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And that daily content in almost every case is designed to direct you towards where to get more information from me, where to get more. And it doesn't have to be, daily videos. It doesn't have to be a daily podcast. It doesn't have whatever. But if you are consistently putting things out there, what's happening is you're creating all of these different points of potential discovery for leads, for customers. And the more that you create, the more your past work is going to continue to be bringing those leads and customers in. And so if you're creating media content like this, if you're putting out expert content into the marketplace, what starts to happen is you're no longer looking to like one particular source of leads and customers, and you're getting all of these leads and customers coming in from all over the place. Now, you may still end up with like one main source. You may still end up with, a most powerful source, or you may end up with a couple of the most powerful sources. Like the Mississippi River, a very large portion of the water that flows through the lower half of the Mississippi River is coming off the Missouri River, which is a gigantic river in itself. And so what happens is you create this scenario where you're having all of these leads and customers come in from all these different places. And if you want it to be free leads and customers, then you have to be putting out a lot of content in a lot of different places. If you want it to be paid, you can do the same thing, except for focus on how can I test a whole bunch of different paid advertising? How can I send that through multiple channels? And, one of the great things about this is that one is actually a very dangerous number for lead sources, for customer sources. Like if you have one client, or if you have one distribution channel, or you have one lead source, or you have one, whatever it is, right? One is a very dangerous, if you have one funnel that works, if you have one offer that works, that's actually a very dangerous place to be with your business. And instead, if you adopt this attitude of, okay, how can I create all these different tributaries? And while they may all still direct into the core offer, it can be an incredibly powerful way to build your business. Or for example, I just did this training for BTMS Insiders members for my All Access Pass holders. I do these monthly Insiders calls. And the latest one was on, it was on welcome mat funnels to get new customers. And essentially what this is, it's you've heard of tripwires, right? maybe you have, if you're in direct marketing at all, you've probably heard of a tripwire funnel or a tripwire offer. That's a low price offer that you put in front of people. Well, I don't like the terminology of tripwire, so I call it a welcome mat. It's a low price offer that you put in front of people that is an opportunity to come in the door. And so this is not your core offer, right? Your core offer tends to be something much bigger than that. But if you create any number of welcome mat funnels where you lay out a welcome mat through this door, and you lay out a welcome mat through this door, and you lay out a welcome mat through this door, what you're doing is you're creating all these tributaries where people can discover you through, in the world of copywriting. There can be Facebook copywriting, there can be email copywriting, there can be long form, VSL copywriting, or long form sales page copywriting, or there can be, name any different number of different copywriting specialties. Well, there could be a welcome mat for each of those that goes to some core offer around copywriting. And so what you're doing is you're creating all of these different entry points. And again, you want it to be free, have it based around free content. You want it to be paid and have more control over it, have it be controlled media as opposed to earned media. Then, pay, but then do a bunch of different tests. So you're driving traffic. You're creating all these different streams of traffic through different targeting, through different ad creative, through different ad networks, through whatever it is, right? Find all these different streams that can contribute to the tributaries and that can send more and more customers towards the center. And oftentimes when you look at a business that does grow very strong and robust, it's not on the strength of, yes, the core offer has to be strong, but it's on how can I create all these different sources of traffic that drive to what is the most successful offers that we have out there, the most successful marketing that we have out there. And when you think of it this way, you not only you open up a lot more opportunity for success for everything that you do, but you are creating a stronger, more robust business that is designed to get you more leads, more customers, more resiliency, more strength, and the more tributaries that you create to your core flood of customers that you're looking to create, the better everything will be for you. So what do you think about this concept? What are your action items? What are your ideas? What are your takeaways? Leave a comment with this episode or a review. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable you found it, as well as those takeaways and action items. Also, tap that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet will know to share it with more people like you who will find it valuable. You can certainly share it with folks directly, and subscribe before you go. Subscribe here. Also, go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com, sign up for my daily emails, or alternatively, you can go to the Essential Copywriting Skills series if you're interested in that, or the Launch Your Client Business. The links are in the description. I'll also include a link to the Welcome Mat Funnels to get more customers training that I did through BTMS Insiders. BTMS Insiders, it's like Netflix for copywriting and marketing training. So you pay one low monthly fee, you get instant streaming access to the entire catalog. I'm Roy Furr. This has been your daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Always aim for 10 out of 10 value. I hope I've delivered it here, and I'll catch you again in the next episode. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.